I knew Mark when we went to school. I think it was Appleton Primary School back in 1980, about 1981 I think it was. I knew him there. Obviously I was only about 5 years old. We left there obviously in 1986. Then we went to Crafton High School from 86 to 1990 or 91. This is the only period that I knew Mark Mills. The time that I knew him, he was very sort of Jekyll and Hyde sort of character. Sometimes he was like in a good mood and you could have like a laugh with him and stuff, and he'd hang around the groups that were in at that time. No bother at all. We really just had typical childhood of having a laugh and getting into mischief as kids do. But there were times when he would go off on his own quiet and he'd want to be on his own. If he tried to like sort of see what was wrong or anything like that, he would sort of have a go at you or try and fend you off, so he would go away and he could be on his own. But I kind of, after like seeing that a few times, it was kind of what he was about. He just left him to himself. But I think it's strange to like think of him like since leaving school at the age of like, I think it was about 15 or something we left school. He was a good lad and stuff. I wouldn't say we were close friends or anything, but I would say that since I knew him in that time, he was a stable character. He didn't have really sort of that bad a time. I wouldn't have thought. I mean, he did get picked on because he came from a poor background and all that. But quite a few kids got picked at the schools that we went to. Quite a few kids got picked on and stuff like that because of where they came from. Because we went to a school where it was sort of the majority of the kids that went there had rich families, so the poor families always got looked down upon. And I guess that got to him a bit, but there was quite a few people who got picked on because of where they came from. The area that he lived in wasn't obviously the best. But I guess it's not until you leave school that you understand to get along with people, no matter how rich or poor they are. It's themselves, the individuals, that you need to think about. But I mean, at school he did get sort of beaten up a few times, and they did sort of get into problems with the headmaster and whatnot. But I mean, in reflection, when I look back on things, you look back on how he was at school and things like that, and you would not have realised that, say, like in the next like 15 years, that he would have done such a thing that he did. I mean, if someone had come up to me and said, do you know Mark Mills, and do you know that he's committed sort of these murders, sort of, I think it was 2004, between 2004 and 2005, was it? Basically, he killed sort of 4 or 5 people, then took his own life, sort of mid 2005, I think it was. I would have said no, I would have laughed at it and said it was fake and it was just someone was winding me up or something like that. But there wasn't really that much information about it in the press. There was nothing on the news about it. I think there was a small article in the local paper that stated the fact that there had been some sort of vicious acts towards people, and either that or I think it was something about like missing people. It was like somebody had been missing for a certain amount of time, but nothing was really done about it. Nothing was back in the paper to say if the people had been found or if these allegations were true. It just kind of like stuns me in a way, really, thinking that someone like Mark Mills is just like every other kid in the street, would turn out to end up like murdering like people. And I don't really know the reason why. I mean, I know for a fact that I've read some of the things that are on the website, the MarkMillsMurders, I think it's called. I've read some of the things on there, and basically the stuff that I know is only the stuff when we're at school as kids, so I can vouch for the fact that that's like true and everything like that. But me myself, I really can't believe that Mark Mills would be the sort of person that would like go out to kill people and stuff like that, and then take his own life. It's kind of unbelievable in a way. I'd expect it if someone told me that someone had killed 5 people and killed him to make it look like a suicide, as it states on the website, that someone might have been there and left by the window, and they could have killed him and basically pinned the entire thing on him. But I mean, I really can't say much apart from the fact that he was an average kid at school. Didn't do too badly, I guess. I mean, he was in the bottom classes in high school. During the primary school, I think he just kept himself to himself as much as he could. He did okay in primary school, but then went to high school, and then obviously that's when he started getting bullied about basically being sort of from a poor area. But I don't know, I really don't know how you can escalate or like sort of take from a child, 15-year-old from sort of the North Yorkshire area to be like sort of a serial killer. I mean, it really has shocked me. I really don't know what else to say, because obviously I can't comment on things that has happened after sort of the age of 15, 16, because obviously I left and like moved away. I tried like looking on sort of search engines for information. The only thing I could find is like on Friends Reunited, there was like an entry that he'd put in, but obviously there wasn't really much information, it just stated who he was, sort of thing. But yeah, since the age of like 16, I never had any contact with him until I was looking through the internet and sort of was looking about and found his name and found the MarkMillsMurders website, and then like tried to like get in touch and see if this was true or it was just like a hoax. But unfortunately, it is true. I went to see Mark Mills's grave not so long ago, which is basically the one that's on the website. And I kind of just stood there on his grave, and I really couldn't believe that since the age of 15 things have got so bad. I mean, it's unbelievable how the human mind can sort of evolve from an innocent kid that's had a sort of a bit of a bad childhood, could have escalated to some kind of such a serial killer. I mean, it's not really that well known up in the north of like England. Yeah, I mean, when you see serial killers, you kind of think of serial killers being like an American-based thing, but I don't know. He really has stunned me, and hopefully, sort of more people will come forward and say their piece and sort of tell their story, because obviously I can only tell it to when he was like 16, which was like say about 90, 91 area. So obviously we need to find out what's happened in the next sort of 16, 17 years or whatever. So hopefully people will come forward and explain that, but this is the best I can say.